buddies, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing my video comparison between the Pretty Naked 2 and the Pretty Naked original. I keep saying that I'm going to come and do this video and I keep forgetting, but today I was like, you know what, I'm going to sit down and just do it really quickly because some of you guys were asking, you know, which one I love or which one I prefer. Let's start with the Pretty Naked. This is definitely one of my favorite palettes from all of the 100% Pure palettes. If you guys are not familiar with 100% Pure is a cruelty-free brand. Not only are they cruelty-free, they're also non-toxic, they're natural, they're pigmented with natural ingredients like fruit and vegetable. I did have all of the palettes. Now I only have these two, but I do have a video on those other palettes down below, so you guys can check that out. I have all of the swatches and, you know, my thoughts on them. 100% Pure makes amazing palettes. Their palettes are really high quality. Like I said, for them to be natural and this, you know, and this amazing, it's pretty cool. The Pretty Naked palette is the first one they ever came out with. I think it was like 10 years ago they came out with this one, and it's such a pretty palette. So here's the difference between the palettes. I do have the old palette, which is basically the original. I think now they make them into like this size. But back then, this is how they made them. It's very sleek, it's very small, it's perfect for traveling. It's made out of cardboard. They're both made out of cardboard, except this one just has like a kind of like a glossy finish, like a shiny finish, and this one doesn't. This one's kind of more like a flat, you know, paper type of finish. This palette I loved so much, and I still do. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love every single shade in this palette. It comes with a highlight or a luminizer, a blush, and the blush used to come this small, and it also comes with 3 different eyeshadows. This luminizer is by far one of my favorite luminizers ever. I am wearing it today, and it just gives me a really nice glow, and it has a gold undertone, which is perfect for my skin tone because I do have more of like warm tone. The blush is also one of my favorite blushes ever. It's just a gorgeous neutral color. You can see that I don't have that on my face today, but I was gonna put it on, but I totally forgot. So that's the blush right there. Let me give you a swatch of the highlight. That is the highlight right there. It kind of has like a pinkish, very slight pinkish tone to it. I don't know if you guys can see that through the, but once you start applying it, it just gives you kind of like a golden type of glow. So that's the highlight. Then we have the 3 eyeshadows. These are just basically eyeshadows that you can use on an everyday basis because they're so neutral. You can create a really nice natural look. This one is called, I forgot to tell you, the luminizer. The highlight is called Illuminizer, and then the blush is called Pretty Naked. This eyeshadow is called Flaxseed, and it basically just looks like that. It's perfect for like highlighting or, you know, just putting on your lid. And I don't know if you guys can see that it does have a really nice sheen. This one is Toffee, which is also a great color. So that's Toffee right there. And then the last one, which is my favorite eyeshadow color in this palette, it's called Chestnut. And this is basically what I have on my lid today. So there you go. Let me give you guys a close-up so you guys can see it. This palette does have a lot of fallout. So that's the only, like, I guess, con that I have with this palette. But I mean, it's not a big deal. I can just wipe it off or just, you know, clean it up a little bit. Like I said, this one is Chestnut. It's the kind of like bronzy, taupey type of color. I absolutely love it. Like I said, it's my favorite one from the shadows. And then this one is Toffee, which also has a little bit of, you know, sheen to it. And then we have Flaxseed. This is the blush, and this is the highlight. So I have Chestnut on my lid, and then I have the blush as a transition color. I also have a little bit of Toffee on the crease just to kind of like add a little bit of dimension, I guess. And I also have Toffee on my lower lash line. It's a perfect palette for an everyday look. Perfect palette to travel with if you are into natural shades and you love to create just neutral looks. This is a palette that you need to get. When you touch them with your finger, they're so buttery and velvety. I just absolutely love the texture of it. They are pretty pigmented, but I mean, they're neutrals, you know, they're not supposed to be like super pigmented, because like the name says it, it's supposed to be kind of like a naked type of, you know, makeup palette. So you can create very natural, neutral looks. So I absolutely love it. I definitely recommend it. All right, so moving on to the Pretty Naked 2. This is the recent palette that they came out with. They came out with 3 other palettes after this one, and then this one is the last one that they created, and it's supposed to be kind of like the big sister of the Pretty Naked, the original, but this is supposed to be kind of like amplified, improved, and way better than the Pretty Naked. Okay, so this one looks like this. This one is also very sleek. It's a magnetic cardboard type of palette. This is what the palette looks like inside. It also comes with a little mirror. And it also has 3 eyeshadows, a blush, and a luminizer or a highlight. Except this one does come with a big full-size blush. I do believe that they now make them like this. So if you do order the Pretty Naked, the original, I believe you're gonna get the full-size blush as well. This is what it looks like. I already used it a couple times and I absolutely love it as well. Again, the blush is my favorite. It's such a pretty color for an everyday look. This palette does have more darker colors, so you can use it to create a natural day look and a natural night look. Of course, you can go for these 2 darker ones for a night look, and you can just stick to these right here for a day look. So it's a really versatile palette. You can create a few looks with it. This one over here is the luminizer, and it's called Illume. This one is the blush, and it's called Afterglow. This is one of the eyeshadows, and it's called Beam. This one is called Splendor, and this one is Vivid. With this one, you can create a night look as well, but you're not gonna get like that really pigmented smoky eye that you might want to use during the night. With the Pretty Naked 2, you can really create a night look, like a smoky eye or something like that. So here's the highlight. This one is definitely going to work better for me during the fall and winter because I'm a little more pale during that time. All right, so here are all the swatches. Again, this is Illume, the highlight. This is Afterglow, the blush. And this one is Beam, the eyeshadow. And this one is Splendor and Vivid. The Pretty Naked 2 doesn't have as much fallout as the Pretty Naked, the first one. But I do also feel like they're not as pigmented. And I also noticed that the only one that's really like velvety soft is this one right here, which is Splendor. The other ones are not as smooth and velvety as the ones from the Pretty Naked, the original. So here are these swatches put together so you guys can kind of see the difference. The first Pretty Naked, it's definitely way more neutral and more like subdued. To be honest with you, I love the Pretty Naked, the original. I feel like not a lot of people love this as much. Even though the Pretty Naked is my favorite palette from all of the palettes, I would definitely recommend both of them. In my opinion, I feel like you need both of them, especially if you are always going for a neutral, you know, toned down look, like an everyday look. These 2 palettes are going to give you that. But like I said, I really do love both of them, and I do recommend both of them. 100% Pure, I believe they have 5 palettes at the moment. So they have 5 different palettes, and these 2 are definitely my favorite ones. Another con, or like, you know, kind of like downside for both of the palettes is that they both have a 6-month shelf life. And it's only because they're really natural, you know, they don't really have a lot of preservatives to keep the palette, you know, from getting bad for a longer time. So they are gonna get bad eventually, but I've actually had the Pretty Naked for like, I think a year already, and I'm still using it. It still hasn't changed. It doesn't smell any different. So I'm not gonna toss it until I feel like it's different, or I feel like it's starting to smell a little funky, then that's when I'll toss it. But for now, it's been a year and some change, and it still hasn't changed. So a lot of people get put off with the whole 6-month, you know, shelf life, but honestly I think it's just like a recommendation. I don't think you really have to follow it unless it's like mascara. But even with mascara, I don't toss it after 3 months. You know, I try to use it up as much as I can until it starts to smell weird or it starts to go on weird. Then I toss it because you don't want to get an infection, you know, on your eye or whatever. So it's just up to you. If you want to toss it after 6 months and you just want to be very cautious, of course you can do that. But they are pretty pricey, and I'm not going to be tossing something after 6 months if I feel like it's still good, if you know what I mean. So let me just give you a side-by-side comparison before I end this video, just so you guys can see the difference between everything. The Pretty Naked is a little more girly. I don't know if you guys can see, it has like little flowers and little like decorations everywhere. So it's more girly. And the Pretty Naked 2, it's a little more edgy, a little more chic, if you know what I mean. So the palettes, so the packaging is definitely different. I really love the packaging of this one because it's more chic and more like simple. So my overall thoughts is that I love them. They're absolutely beautiful. They're amazing. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye guys.